God, I'm fucking tired. Hey, I'm Camp Skip, and you may recognize me from such web series as 107B and such Eastlink TV programming as Soundstage Spotlight. Well, welcome to the inaugural edition of a new podcast I am starting called Skipsworld. Let's see where this takes us, shall we? I guess I want to go over a couple different things within these podcasts. All about the pop culture, though, talking about different things, stuff that I know some stuff about, some stuff that I don't know so much about. But it's all going to be in good fun, and we're going to have a great time. That, I promise you. So, first off, let's start out with, the segment I like to call, Camsplaines Godzilla. So this is where I talk about, different Godzilla movies for the layman, like yourself, that may not know a whole lot about the Godzilla movies. This is one of my favorite movies from the Heisei era. This is Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. So this movie came out in, I think, December 14th, 1991. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah was released in Japanese theaters. And it centers around, it's the third movie in the Heisei era after the second series of Godzilla, almost the reboot. And it centers around, so this UFO, flies in, right? It flies into Japan, and it lands, and all the military is like, what the hell's going on with this UFO, right? And then all of a sudden, these three people come out of the UFO, and it turns out, oh my god, they're human, what the heck? And then you find out this isn't a UFO, this is actually a time machine, and these people have come back from the future. So there's these two white guys and this one Japanese girl. And they're like, hey, you need to listen to us or else Godzilla will destroy Japan. So we're here to help you. So you gotta help us. So switching gears now to Cam's current movie review. So this is where I guess this part of the show, because I'm just kind of winging it as I go along. So this is where I talk about new movies that I've watched in theaters and or on Netflix or something. The point is, this is where I talk about newer movies. And recently, this past week, I went and saw Hereditary. Woo! I know that everyone's freaking out over how awesome this movie is. And though I thought this movie was great, I really enjoyed it, but it's not as good as everybody is saying that it is, in my humble opinion. Okay? So, things that I really liked about the movie. There was talk that it had the quietest jump scare in cinema history, which it did kind of deliver on. It was super freaky. And it's right at the start of the movie, so, if you haven't seen it yet, go and check that out, and it's pretty spooky, so I really enjoyed that. And I also liked how it went. It portrayed the, everyone's done it. You're laying in bed, you kind of half asleep, and you wake up, and you look over into the corner of your room, and someone, something, some monster, some creature, some, I don't know, space cowboy, is standing there in the corner, and you freak out a little bit, but it turns out it's just, I don't know, a coat on a chair, or something like that. I think that it handled that really well. It was a slow burn, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in a movie. But it did throw a lot of, random stuff at you in the first half anyway. But, enough that you could kind of figure out where it was going. I had no problem following along with what was going on. And then it actually did kind of explain if you're not quite smart enough to follow along with what's going on, at the end, everything's kind of laid out and explained to you. And yet, when the movie was over, there was still a group of, teens behind me or something that were just none of that movie made any sense. There wasn't a part of that movie that made sense. And I'm like, just... There's also some guy that, spilt his drink on me at the end of the movie. He only had ice cubes in his cup, but I still got some of the dribble, right? And he's just like, oh my god, did any of that get on you? I'm like, well, a little bit. Well, it's empty. So what's the point, asshole? You just spilled your fucking drink on me. Anyways, so the movie was good. I really enjoyed it. I'll have to watch it again to form a solid opinion. I did think The Witch was better. But that's just my opinion on things. Okay, so basically, you find out that this one dude, so this guy in the present, like our protagonist, Terasawa, it turns out that this Japanese girl that had come back in the time machine is like his great. How about I counteract that with a movie I thought was better, but is like a classic movie review, a classic horror thing. It's not super classic, but it's like a decade old now. So the other night I watched Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and it was fantastic. This movie, if you haven't seen it, I heard good things leading up to it, and then I finally took the time to check it out, and it was great. It's like serial killer documentary where you follow along the serial killer, and then it has a great twist. And Robert Englund's in it. He plays Freddy Krueger from the old Elm Street movies, so that was great. And Scream Factory, division of Shout Factory, they put out this great release, and I like flipping, doing the other cover, because then I get two covers. They got reversible cover, and I could also, this is on the other side of this, so I thought that was neat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Scream Factory at all. I just have, I don't know, tons of movies. I'm not endorsed by Scream Factory, but you know what? Hey, if you're listening, I would appreciate the sponsorship. I would enjoy that. I definitely, it would make me happy. So think about it. And then while you're out there, go check that movie out. Great granddaughter or something. So, because the time machine came from the year like 2205 or something like that. So it turns out that this Terasawa guy, writes like the book on Godzilla, like in the future. And right now he's just some struggling writer, and he can't make any money, and his book's not selling worth shit, and whatever. So these time travelers, they get this little group together with Terasawa and a couple other people, Miki, who's a reoccurring character in the Heisei series, and they go back in time to like this little Japanese island during World War II, right? And the Americans, the Allies, they're trying to like force their way on this beach, but turns out the Japanese have a secret weapon on this beach. It's Godzilla. Whoa, who'da thunk it, right? Except he's not Godzilla yet. He's not Godzilla yet. He's Godzillasaurus, so he's just a little dinosaur. He's doing a little dinosaur thing on the island, right? And as the Americans are trying to like force their way onto the beach, the Godzillasaurus is like stomping them down and like destroying them. So they like unleash hell and like shoot from their ships. They shoot all these projectiles, and it like peppers Godzillasaurus here, and he gets knocked over, and he's like on the verge of dying. And then all the Japanese soldiers are just like, you are our savior and you always protect us, kind of thing, like we will always remember you. So the Allies, they leave, and then the Japanese soldiers, they leave, and then okay, so there's like this dying dinosaur on the island here, and okay, so what now? Well, the time travelers that came back with the people from the future, they're like, hey, so here's what's going on. So in the future, Godzilla will destroy Japan. He'll just completely wreck all of your shit, right? So we got to stop that. So to stop that, we're gonna take this guy, and instead of leaving him on the island to get bombarded with radiation and stuff, we're gonna take little Godzillasaurus, and we're gonna put him in the ocean. We're gonna hide him. The only thing, the price point with these collector's editions, the Scream Factory ones, they're a little high. They're like $30, and this is coming from a guy who would not spend $35 on one of the greatest animes in all time. And this leads into my next segment: seamless transition. Thrifting with the Thrift King. I'm Camsplaines, I'm the Thrift King, and we're gonna look at my thrift of the week. this week I found the complete Cowboy Bebop Blu-ray series. A set that I was not planning on buying in any way because I have the Cowboy Bebop Redux or Remix. This was not a set I was planning on buying because I do have the Bandai DVD remix, the remaster to that. But I mean, at $9.50, I could not say no. So that's, if you haven't checked out Cowboy Bebop, you are a sinner, and you need to look inward and find anime God. And but while they do that, they have these little tiny little fur balls. They look like tribbles or something from Star Trek, but they have little wings, little dragon wings, and little cute teeth. So they let 3 of these things out onto the island, right? And oh, lo and behold, when they get back to the future, guess what? The monster from the movie King Ghidorah. Hold on. So these 3 little things is now this giant monster, this giant King Ghidorah, and he's going around. He's the one, wrecking Japan and shit. So oh no, what is to do? The future people are I think they even call them Futurians or something. It's super unoriginal. And so record time for, let's talk music, okay, for a little bit. Here's Cam's. My recommendation this week is The Last Waltz by the band. If you can check it out, if you check out the movie by Martin Scorsese, do it. It's awesome. It looks great. It looks like you're watching a movie, but it's a concert, and it'll blow your mind. If you haven't really listened to music, this is a good album. It's a good go-to. So that's produced by Robbie Robertson. This band, Last Waltz. This is Cam's. This is, you know what we're gonna call this section of the show? Cam's Vinyl Vault. Because I'm gonna be pulling out my vinyl. I'm showing you the tunes that you need to be listening to. So these Futurians, they're like, yeah, haha. Godzilla actually doesn't destroy Japan in the future. He destroys America, where we're from. So, hoorah, America, King Ghidorah. But remember when they took Godzilla and they put him way in the ocean? Well, it turns out over there he got bombarded with even more nuclear radiation than he would have on this island. So now he comes back and he's twice the size that he would. Well, so he comes back and he's bigger than he was before. And then the two of them, there's this big kaiju fight, and they fight each other, and they're destroying stuff and knocking stuff and all that kind of great Godzilla shit. And then Godzilla blows off one of King Ghidorah's heads, and then King Ghidorah goes to the bottom of the ocean. He dies. He dies. So then Godzilla is just well, I guess a bit of wreck shit. So he's going around. He's destroying. Now he's the one. He's back to destroying Japan. My rubble is made out of little Lego candy. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because the whole time travel plot and stuff. So out of this time travel portal flies King Ghidorah, but then his middle head is all a robot. It's he's a robot dragon, and he has 2 other heads, and he's got wings, and I don't know, just pretend that's okay. So it turns out that this girl, this grand acquaintance daughter from the future, she's piloting Mecha King Ghidorah now, and they get into the fight, and then manages to subdue Godzilla, and he gets his shit wrecked, and then after that's done, Godzilla's well, I guess my work's done here, and he leaves. That's Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. It's one of my favorite Godzilla movies. You should check it out. All right, see you next time.